friends, and welcome back to Simply Basic Recipes. Today we're going to make a Flappy Bird cake. To make this cake you're going to need two 9x13 cakes. Okay, start out by leveling your 9x13 cakes with your cake leveler. Once both of your cakes have been leveled, go ahead and stack them evenly on top of each other and start cutting out your pixelated Flappy Bird. Once you're happy with your cutout shape, go ahead and pull out all of the other pieces of cake around it. Okay, I've got a tube of already made black icing here. You're going to need that, and you're also going to need some icing colors. And I've got brown, red, and yellow. And you're going to also separate your frosting into 4 different bowls because you're going to need white, yellow, red, and brown colored icing. Now we're just going to color a small amount of frosting red and a small amount of frosting brown, and then we're going to color the majority of it yellow and leave a little bit of it white. Okay, take the bottom layer of the Flappy Bird that you cut out and go ahead and take your yellow frosting and frost the inside of the bird and then stack the top layer on it as neatly as possible when you're finished. So for the next step, you're going to need some Ziploc baggies, some scissors, and a couple of icing tips. And it doesn't really matter which icing tip you use. I'm just using an open star tip number 34. And you're going to start out with your red icing. And don't worry about putting a tip in the bag with the red frosting because we're just going to pipe it out of a little hole we're going to snip out of the end of the bag. For the white frosting, I'm just going to snip part of the end of the bag off, and I'm going to slip one of those number 34 tips inside the corner of the bag and then just seal that up and twist it. With the brown, I'm also going to use a Ziploc baggie, cut the end off, and put a number 34 tip in the corner as well. And the same thing with the yellow, snip the end off the bag, put the number 34 tip in, and fill that up with your yellow frosting. Now back to Flappy Bird. I'm going to take my tube of pre-made decorating icing in the black color, and I've got a flat tip that I put on the edge. I'm not really sure which tip that I use. It's just a flat tip, and I'm going to go around the edges of Flappy Bird with the black and just color in those pixelated lines like in the cartoon. And I'm also going to go around and trace his eyes and his wings and his mouth. Now take your yellow frosting with the number 34 tip, and we're going to color in the midsection of the bird, color in his yellow feathers there. Okay, now pick up your red frosting and snip the corner of the bag off and just cut a very small hole there and fill in the bird's lips. And then you're going to take a toothpick and just smooth out the red to where you can't see any lines in it. Next we'll work on the wing, and go ahead and pick up your yellow again and color in the bottom of the wing yellow with that little bit of shading that's in the cartoon picture, and then take up your white frosting and fill in the rest of the wing with the white. Next you can take your brown along with the 34 tip and fill in the bottom part of the bird's stomach because it's a little bit darker than the yellow shade. And lastly, you can grab your white frosting again and just work on the inner part of the bird's eye, and then once you finish with that, take another toothpick and just smooth that out as well. The last thing you need to do is take some of your leftover yellow frosting and go ahead and ice around the edges of the cake, and you can make that as smooth as you want, or you can also finish that and put a border around the bottom. It's just up to you, whatever you want to do. I did not do a border. I just kind of finished up the sides there and finished the cake up. And that is my finished Flappy Bird cake. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I come out with a new video every Sunday. I will see you next week on Simply Basic Recipes. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye.